Hi, this is Sandy Parker, and welcome to another episode of Crafting for Almost Everyone. We're finally going to make that birthday card I've been talking about, and I hope that things go well because this is okay. Maybe take number 5 on this little project. We had some issues along the way. But anyway, it's no problem because this is a very quick and easy card. I'm going to show you some examples of it. This is one that has some cute little flowers attached to the front. This is one in green. And this is one that I did some weird distressing around the outside of because I had a little boo-boo. And then I put a ribbon in the middle. We're not going to do the distressing around the outside, but this is going to be the closest to the card that we're going to be creating today. So what we're going to need is some 5.5 by 4 1/4 cardstock. Of course, folded in the middle. We're going to then need 3 pieces of black cardstock, and these are going to be 4 inches by 1.5 inches wide. And I'll put all this information down below so you don't have to write it down. And then we're going to be adding another piece of cardstock on top of it, and that is going to be 3 3/4 by 1. Geez, I completely forgot. I think it's 1 1/4. Yeah, 1 1/4. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do, because you know this is the bane of my existence, and that is we're going to stamp the sentiment first, because we always have problems with that. And I'm using 2 different Stampin' Up sentiments. Jeez, look at that! I already have ink all over the thing. We're using 2 different Stampin' Up sentiments. One is from Curly Cute, and one is from Gifts of Kindness. And I think they're both very lovely sentiments, but you know, sentiments are very, very user specific, so pick one that you like from a company that you like and just go with it. I don't want you to feel like you have to search out these ones just because they're the ones I use on a card. It's all about the technique, not what the words are. And this says, "What a beautiful thing, the gift of you, happy birthday." I liked it. I thought it was pretty. And it's almost straight. Almost. You know, sentiments and me, not the greatest. So we're going to shake that just for a second. While we're doing that, I think what we'll do is we'll glue some of our pieces down. Now, this particular cardstock is also from Stampin' Up, and it's the color is Primrose Petal. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. Let me make sure, because you know I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Yes, Primrose Petals. And it's the paper itself is from a Stampin' Up set of designer series paper, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know the name of that. But when you're stamping, or when you're gluing these down, I think the easiest way to do it is put your paper, your bottom paper, on a grid sheet. I hope you can see that. And then you're going to put your top paper, you're going to center your top paper within that on the grid sheet so that your papers all line up together. I've been having little problems with my paper cutter. I don't know why, because I changed the blade, but I want to make sure that I fix that. I got a little yucky edge. I don't know if you have one of these things, but they're really cool. It's a little, for lack of a better word, it's a sanding block, and you could use, you know, your husband's sanding block if you go out to the garage, or if you have your own sanding block, use that with really fine paper. Or an emery board works really good for this too. So you don't have to go out and buy anything, because most of us have an emery board, right? Okay, we're going to then do our other one that's the words. I like to do, oh, that has a weird edge too. I like to make sure that I glue down my 2 outer edge ones first. It makes it easier for me to, in the end, line up the center paper, because I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning is in my head, but it makes sense that you know you want to be able to center it, and since it is the middle piece, it's easier when the other 2 pieces are laid down. I don't know if there's a real answer for that, but that's my answer. That's my answer. Okay. Then our last piece is going to be glued to this I'm not sure what happened here, but it's really frustrating when you have paper that's just not perfect after you've cut it. I liked this center paper because it kind of is nostalgic looking, but yet it holds, it has a nice image to it so that it looks nice on with anything embellishing it. Because I put those flowers on it, they looked fine, and then now we're going to do it with, we're going to put pop-ups underneath of it, whatever you call them. That's what I call them sometimes. I don't know what I call them the rest of the time. But anyway, we're going to, on the center one, we're going to put down 3 pieces. And then I'm going to teach you my ribbon trick, because that's another problem we have is ribbon, isn't it? And when you love ribbon like I do, you have to come up with a system that works. So we're going to put that one aside, and then we're going to go back to our card, and we're going to put glue down the backs of these. I hope I'm in frame. We're going to put our, whatever adhesive you use. I know I should use my ATG gun, but I'm just so afraid, because you've seen the mess I make out of ATG guns. It's just horrific what I can do with an ATG gun. I have not yet mastered that pink one either, and Rich has watched a lot of videos on putting the tape in, and he swears it's not the tape. So we're back to, it's me. Does that shock you? I don't think it should. Okay, make sure your words are straight up and down, because if they're not, that's going to hurt your project. You want to put it back on your grid if you can, if you have a grid. And one of the things that's nice about this, I just watched a video. I love YouTube. I love the videos on YouTube because they give you so many great ideas. And I just watched a woman take a Dollar Tree, you know, I love Dollar Tree. She took a Dollar Tree cutting mat. I think it was a cutting mat. And it was like just your regular plastic cutting mat. She took that, and what she did with it was she made it into a grid sheet using like a paper ruler. I don't know where she got the ruler from. I don't know. I didn't hear that part of it. But she used a paper ruler and a piece of contact paper that she also got at the Dollar Tree, she said. And she made one of these grid sheets, and it was genius. She used a Sharpie and wrote all the information, you know, like drew the lines, and I don't remember if she put anything other than lines. I think she didn't. But anyway, what she did is after she did everything with her Sharpie, and after she glued down her ruler, then all she did was she took her new contact paper and stuck her contact paper all over the front of it so that her images would be protected, and she could use it with anything and not have to worry about her grid marks coming off. Wasn't that smart? People are so smart. I love that. Okay, in the meantime, what I did was, because I, you know, couldn't do it on camera, I took my little piece of ribbon and I attached it to the pieces in the back of my tape. I'm going to put another little piece of tape on that, because you know I'm kind of cursed when it comes to anything that's glued down or stuck down. So I'm going to put a little piece of tape on that. See, I'm attached it already. Just because I'm just so magnetic and sticky, I guess. So I just stuck a little piece of tape to that, and now I put the rest in the garbage. And now we're going to put this piece in the center. See what I'm talking about, how I put these two really close to the edge, so it kind of frees it up for me to put this almost anywhere and allows me to decide where the center is. I'm deciding. I made that decision all by myself. Okay, there we go. Now, here is my big secret on ribbon. You know how we're kind of gifted when it comes to ribbon, and you know what I'm talking about. We just can't seem to do ribbon like everybody else. You know, I see people do ribbon, and I think to myself, well, that would be great if I could do it that way, but I can't. And one of the things that I don't do well, obviously, is do knots or bows easily. And I have a bow machine that's, it's like 2 wooden dowels, and it's great. But whenever I want to do something really quick and easy, and for me, this is the quickest I get. You're going to bear with me while I do this because, you know, I am not the greatest at doing anything on camera, and this is really slippery ribbon. And if I do it the first time, because I usually do it in my lap. Okay. Yay! Let's all clap for Sandy. Okay. Here's what you do. You take your regular ribbon that you just had, and you make a little piece of it, and you just tie a little, you don't make a knot, just one tie. And then it looks like you've done some great knot when really all you did was you put your ribbon down first and did that little knot, half knot I guess we'll call it. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten my ribbon, hopefully, and it really looks cute. And nobody has to know that you cheated. Why should they know? It's your project. You did it. Okay. So we'll get that out of the way. You believe it? Our card is done. It's cute. It's done. It says, what a beautiful thing, the gift of you, happy birthday. And on the outside it has the great little embellishment with the bow, and it all matches. It's Primrose Petals is the name of it. Oh, I forgot my one thing. Made my little stamp. It says, I made this for you. Did I tell you where I got this? I got this from a company called discountrubberstamps.com, and I paid $3.95 for it. Is that the greatest thing you've ever heard in your life? I love this thing, and I made up the sentiment myself. You're free to steal it. And the reason I did this, I made this for you, instead of Sandy made this, or from Sandy's blah, blah, blah. I decided that if I gave this as a gift, and it was maybe, let's say, a gift of note cards, then you would be able to also use this over and over again, because it doesn't say I made it. It says I made this for you, so the giver looks like they made it. Isn't that a cool idea? Okay, I'm going to show you one more trick. This is today's cool tip. Okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to be blown away by this. You've probably seen this before, but maybe you haven't, and that's why I think it's really cool. You're going to take a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. Okay, I had a little problem with this. I had to wax some of it off because I had a little problem. But anyway, it doesn't really matter anyway. You're going to fold it, and then you're going to reopen it. Then you're going to fold it the other direction. So in the end, you're going to have a plus sign in the middle of your paper. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope it does, because if it doesn't, I'm not sure how else I can explain that. Okay, you're going to make sure your creases are really good. But if you have really thick cardstock, don't use it for this because it'll crack. You want to use thinner cardstock, maybe not as thin as this because this is really thin, but I'm just saying it's better if you have thinner cardstock. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to, using your fold lines, I don't know if you can see those at all, but what you're going to do is you're going to take your right side, you're going to go to about an inch from the top and an inch from the center, and you're going to make a fold. It's a triangular fold. Your center line is right here, your center line is right there. Hope you can see those. Then you're going to take the left side, you're going to do exactly the same thing, and you're going to try and make sure, sorry my head's in the way, you're going to try and make sure that you line it up so that your left side and your right side go across in a line. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Then, and this is the most important part, you're going to take your center and you're going to bring your center up so that it is exactly in line. Remember, I ripped my paper, so my paper isn't going to be exactly right in the center there. You're going to make sure that now you have a straight line across. You folded up your bottom to meet the other two lines. Then, remember our middle line that we had originally? You're going to take all of that paper and you're going to fold it up to the center line. Then, this is the big ta-da, you're going to take your paper and fold it like this, and you're thinking to yourself, geez, what good is that? Well, let me tell you what good it is. Look how cool this is. You're going to take your cards, and you're going to take them and put them in like this, and then you're going to take a couple more, then you're going to take your envelopes, and you're going to put them in. I just made one of these for my brother-in-law for his birthday. He wasn't really thrilled with it, but he liked the cards because he likes Minions, and I made him some Minion cards, and I made him some for his dog. because he has a schnauzer, and I made them that matched his schnauzer. So anyway, here's what you do. Once you're done, if you only have 4 cards like I have in there, it's not a big deal. But if you think you need a belly band, you can make one. Or if you think you need a, what I did is I put a button right here with his, and then I wrapped elastic around it. But you really, when you only have 4 cards, if you're going to just do a few cards, you don't really need any more than you have right here. And because of the way it's folded, you don't need anything to hold the paper in place because it stays exactly that way. And that, my friends, is my tip of the day. I learned that from someone on YouTube. I'm so sorry I can't remember who you are. And before I did this video, I looked to find this. And do you know how many videos there are on stationery folders? About a bazillion. Not really, but anyway, I couldn't find it. I'm sorry about that. Whoever you are, giving you props. You did a great job, and thank you so much for sharing it. This is a really easy way for you to be able to make your note cards fly, and they would be great for craft fairs to hold your notes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video on birthday cards. Please check out my other ones on my craft room tour and on scissors and the little Halloween card that I made out of a bag, trick-or-treat bag, and of course my birthday card video. I hope you liked it, and I hope you give me a thumbs up. Love that thumb, don't you? I'm going to be teaching people how to hitchhike with this one. But anyway, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for more videos.